Okay, so over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to program a macro key on your Microsoft Ergonomic Keyboard, and it's a bit of a pain in the butt to understand how it works. But once you understand it, then it makes sense. You know, like hopefully over the next few minutes, it'll open your eyes. So here's what happened for me. Excuse me. For some reason, the calculator key, which like if I hover my mouse here, it turns into blue and it highlights it on the bottom of the page also. So I'm gonna click on it. And then it goes to this other page right here where you can see like the settings of the calculator key. Now, normally it's set to default and it actually opens by default the calculator that's installed on your keyboard or on your computer. I'm sorry, I'm having Windows 10. But for some reason, it started, messing up on me. Every time I pressed the key, it would open the Microsoft calculator and it was just blank. It wouldn't show anything. I'd have to close it down and open it a few times until it would show me the contents of the calculator. So I went ahead and just uninstalled it and I decided I'm going to go ahead and try something else. And I installed another calculator called Calculator X8, this one right here. Okay. So when you install a new program, what you're going to do is you want to make sure that you make a shortcut over to the computer, right, to your desktop somewhere. And the way that you make it a shortcut is you hit the start button, you find the app inside of your apps menu, left click on it and just drag it and drop it anywhere in the desktop and it automatically makes a shortcut. So now the next step from here is you want to go ahead and give a shortcut key to your shortcut. So here's what I mean. You right click anywhere on it, go down to where it says properties. So it opens a little properties dialog box like this, right? So normally this right here is going to say none, or it says shortcut key, it'll say none. But what I decided to do is I went ahead and tapped the letter C on it, and it automatically puts Ctrl Alt C as the option to do the shortcut. So now by doing that, if I go on my keyboard and I hold down and I do Ctrl Alt C in sequence and let them all go at the same time, here's what happens. I just did, and now you got to give it a moment and it opens it. See that? So then it opens up the calculator. So now that I understand that Ctrl Alt C does it, how do you program, now that you understand, how do you program it into the macro? Well, you create a macro, okay? And this is where it kind of gets confusing because in the macros, for some reason, you can't do an Alt that is pressed down. And let me just show you what happens. So at first I said, this is what's going to be selected, right? So what you do is you go down here to macro, and then you click on it'll say not assigned or something like that. It'll say not assigned because there is no macro created for it. So when you click on it, then you get to create a macro. It'll have the button that says create a new macro. So once you create the macro, I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. I'm going to call it calculator demo, for example. Okay. So here, calculator demo. Okay, so then basically what it means is that here you start typing in your keys on your keyboard and it is supposed to record your keys. So if you do Ctrl Alt C, it's supposed to do the whole thing, Ctrl Alt and C. Look at that. So I'm going to try it myself and it didn't do it. But what happens is it breaks out of character, it stops recording, and it actually opens the calculator for the shortcut that we created. And we needed to record it here. So I found out just by accident, just learning a little bit on the macro programming, how to fix this. So Control and then Alt, I'm going to hit since I can't hit the Alt key because look, I'm hitting it right now. You hear that? But it doesn't do anything. So you got to click here where it says insert special character. Then you're going to look for the Alt right here. You're going to enter it. And then you're going to enter in the C. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and enter them again in that same sequence, Control Alt and C, and we're going to take off the times in between. So I'll do Control, and I'll do Alt again, and then the C again. Okay, so now I'm going to take off those little, in between these two, I'm going to take off those delays. We don't need those delays there because we actually want it to stop at the moment. Oh, I guess once the delay is placed, I guess you can't do anything about it. Well, we'll see about that. So now remember, it's called calculator demo. So I'm going to click the little left arrow right here to go back. So now it's got two macros, right? So notice how it works. So, but we need to modify this one right here, the calculator demo. We're going to work on it. So now if you look here, in the options, there's the edit option, there's a copy the macro, and then there's the open the macros folder. So I'm going to click on open macros folder. And in the folder here, you're going to see the two macros that I have, the demo and then the XI that I already have. So just simply open a notepad document. And when you open a notepad, here's all you do. Just simply drag that file into the notepad and it'll open it up so you can see it. Okay, so now look at this. It isn't really that hard to understand. Remember that in order, we put in Ctrl Alt and C. So in order, you can see right here that there's the Control, and then this one right here would be the Alt, and this one would be the C right here. You see that? Interesting, huh? So you get to see what those codes are. Control is 29. Okay, and then Control and then Alt would be 56, and then 46 is the C. Okay, so 29, 56, and 46. So let's keep that in mind. Now there's the down true, and then there's the down false. You see that? So here's what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to first do the Control Alt and the letter C to be held down, and then all of them released at the same time. Okay, and the way that you do that is the first one that is Control, which is 29 right here. We're going to leave that one down as true. Okay, and then 56. Then we're going to take off, or actually we're going to leave this delay event. Then the next one is 56 down true. So I'm going to take off this one right here that says down false. You see that? I'm going to just simply remove that one because I actually need it to stay down for a little while. Okay. Okay. And then we have 46, which is the letter C. And then, so down true, and then I'm going to take off that down false that's immediately following it because I actually need it to stay down for a little while. And then I'm going to remove that extra delay event. So let's see if you can follow the logic. Control Alt C. You see that? And then there's a little delay of 10 seconds on each of them. And then here at the end, I'm going to go ahead and do the same ones, but instead of down true, I'll make sure that I only leave the down false because that means that's when you release the key. You see that? So I'm going to delete this whole thing right here. Then I'm going to delete this other true event and also the delays. And I'll leave the false there. And then I'm going to delete this other event and leave the false there. So all the same keys that got pressed in the same order, they're all getting released at the same time. So now that I modified the macro 29, 56, 46, okay, and then again 29, 56, 46 with no delays in between, all of them should be released at the same time. Let's go ahead and hit save. Okay, and then I'm going to just simply move this out of the way. Once I hit save, I'm just going to move it to the next screen here. I'm going to go ahead and click the little back button right here. Then I'm going to go back in here so I can take a look at the macros. Now notice how it changed now. Now it looks Control Alt and C. So if I go to the little pencil to edit the macro, we're going to see how it works. You know, Control got pressed, and notice how it doesn't get released until over here. Then the Alt got pressed, and then it doesn't get released until over here. And then the C got pressed, doesn't get released until way over here. So when all of them get released at one time. Do you see that? So now if you follow the logic, now if I press the key, because I've actually got the calculator demos as the one. Now if I go onto my keyboard and I press this, and I'm going to press it right now, it should open the calculator. And it takes usually about a second because it's a slow calculator, but it opens, and look at that. It looks beautiful. Now it worked perfectly. So there it is. That's all you have to do. And again, sorry if it's confusing. I'm going to go ahead and simply share this same code on the comments on the bottom of the description. So if it's easier, the only reason I want to show you exactly how it works is because I don't know if it'll actually give that same code that we saw on here. I don't know if on every Windows device the control is 29, if the alt is 56, and the C is 46. I don't know about that. So that's why it was important for me to show you how to go onto the macros keyboard and then open this file on the notepad so you can see those codes. That's the only reason I showed you this. But if it's the same across all Windows platforms, then awesome. Maybe you can just simply grab this code right here and just simply copy it and put it on that key, and it'll be programmed to open the whatever keyboard that you choose. But anyways, that's how you do it. Just simply set the shortcut for whatever new app you want to use. Then you just simply come in here and program that macro, and it'll work just as easily. All right. Well, anyways, you have a wonderful day, and bye for now.